David Wygant, if it's Friday, it must be Fit Friday with Eddie Palmer from EddiePalmer12gmail.com. You will need to write that down because you will want to contact him. Eddie, resistance, man. There's a famous saying, what you resist persists, right?
Yeah.
So I know in all the things in my life that I've never been able to conquer, I've always come up with a story about it won't work for me. Like, I want to learn how to be a great investor, right? It's something that's always been important to me. So I think when I get involved in the stock market, my magical powers, if I invest in this stock, I will be able to bring the entire stock market down, right? So of course, what happens, the one time I try it, on a one tip that I have, the stock happens to go down that day, and for the next couple of days, there's this news, and the stock market goes down, and of course, I just basically I'm self-fulfilling prophecy. But what is it in our line of work, and I think it drives us nuts, because we're both coaches. I just did a boot camp last week on the Great Bunch of Guys, and one guy just, there's always that one guy that always just resists, and resists and resists.
It just won't for me.
Won't for me.
It just won't for me. I can't give into this because they can't accept. I think the resistance. It's basically I can't accept the possibility that what works for so many because they've watched your work or they've seen my work and they go, it just won't work for me. And then what am I going to do? I'll be crushed. So I'd rather have. It's kind of like the same thing with most of people like us. When we got into these business, we had to walk out on faith. We wouldn't, you didn't know for sure it'd work, but you had a good idea. Like, I think this is going to play out the way I want it to. It's going to work. I had to walk out on faith. It's like, I can't walk out there and fail. It's just too much for me to deal with. So I'd rather not know than know. Some people live in that realm where not knowing is better than knowing. Ignorance is bliss. And so they feel like if I can resist this and not go with it, then I never tried. So it never failed. It never worked for me. What do they say? You miss 100%. You can't miss a shot you don't take. There you go. I didn't miss. I never took the shot.
Yeah, it's so funny because I know you push me in my workouts. You have me doing push-ups with a ball now, right?
Yeah.
And man, I'm just trusting it, right? Yeah. You also, think about when I came to you as a workout person. Now, I wasn't overweight.
No,
I had no weight to lose.
Very unfit.
I had no weight to lose.
No.
I had a six-pack. On the outside, I looked just like Weekend at Bernie's. I looked great. I looked like the executive. On the inside, I was broken. Broken. My back, my range of motion
your abductors,
was
AB and AD abductors were terrible. Yeah.
I was like a 90-year-old man.
Yeah, you couldn't even drive a car. You had to drive SUVs only. So
right, and I was in pain even after driving SUVs.
Yeah. I even remember you even having sex hurts. Imagine being in pain, doing some of the most pleasurable things in life, and that's just what it takes. It takes somebody to say, you know what, I'm a coach, and that's what I do. I lead people. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to step back and be led. That's the bigger step. It wasn't getting help. It was allowing yourself to get the help. And that's what people miss. They think, I don't know if I can deal with that type of push, or maybe they might motivate me to. No. Allow yourself to be helped. Now, if they're great at what they do, they can adjust their coaching to your personality. That's what I do. Everybody needs to be pushed differently. I can't push Dave the same way I push some of my other clients. I can't push, some of like my athletes. When I train pro athletes, you don't have to push them. You instruct them. There isn't no, give me more effort, or come on, or try harder. It's, okay, I need you to do a little bit more of this on this, because they're only there is to get better so that their performance on the field or court is better. So that's the only reason they're there. So everything you say they're taking, please, yes. And then you have some people come in and, I understand this, but I'm just going to try. I'm here to just try. They're going with the trend. They see a bunch of people, or a bunch of women, in my case, wanting to train, or they might see my work on TV or in a movie or an actress or something. I want to try that too, but I know what I'm doing, but I just want to get a few pointers here and there. They're already defensive. They're not ready to be coached. They're not ready to allow themselves to be helped. And that's really where that resistance comes from. I don't know if I can let my guard down enough to be helped, because then what's the problem? Maybe they need the problem.
Talk a little bit more about it's that resistance, okay? They're not ready to be coached. They are ready to be coached. They're fighting the help that they need. And it's funny because I'm more of an athlete's thing. You told me what to do, I did it, right? I'm just like, when you told me, I basically wrote the check, put my faith in you as a friend, and I basically looked at you and said, you know what? I'm going to do this.
Yeah, I remember. I remember when you started, because it was kind of funny, because literally I think we were standing like 2 feet apart. You're like, hey, I want to train. I'm like, huh? because like if anyone, some people might who were listening know me because I know I have some followers on my end who've joined Dave and vice versa, and it's it's just like if you know me, I'm very hey, how are you? I don't talk about training. I hate when people bring that up to me at parties or I'm at mixers or my clients' events. If you want to train, you have my information. You know how to get into. Otherwise, we don't listen. Let's just talk life. I'm not that guy that some of these guys that live in bigger cities. There's always trainers at the gyms and all this. Hey, thinking about getting a six pack? Or hey, you want to work out? Or maybe I can teach you how to do this. You want to work? They said, hey, I'd like you to, and I'm like, okay, you want to train? I guess I was like, well, okay. He looked great. It wasn't, so I knew he just wanted to stay at it or maybe learn some new things. Come to find out, he can't get up or down out of a chair or move, any type of bending is just completely painful. So that's what we worked on. But he wasn't fighting the help that he needed. And a lot of us fight the help that we need for a few reasons. One, I think it is because we're not ready to get over, we like having our martyr. We like to have that as I'm big and I can't let this go. Because then what do I have to, I guess, complain about? That's what I have. And if I let that go, I don't have anything anymore. That's my burden to bear in life. I don't have that, because, like they say, okay, life's perfect. Now what you gonna complain about? Or like we talked about in the previous podcast last week, you're perfect. You got you're beautiful. Now what? So what do you have to, you don't have your cross to bear. You resist the help because you go, okay, well then I'm just different. It's not going to work for me. I've manifested every reason in my mind. You created a false reality, kind of like Fox News, but it's not the real world, and you don't want to live in the real world. Come out of your head and live in reality. A lot of people spend more time in their own head than they do reality, and that's the problem.
Why do they spend time in their own head? I mean, what is it?
And look, I
know.
Yeah.
Look, there's certain issues in my life where I'll spend a lot of time in my head. Okay, It's just I'm a human being. All right, but why do people spend so much time in their head? And it affects them. It affects them emotionally, mentally, physically. I mean,
with their other
sexually,
with their relationships with other people. So,
sexually, I mean, how many men have trouble getting up, getting their dick hard because they're sitting there before sex and go, my God, am I going to get hard? Am I going to get hard?
Have sex with the tank tops on and the big shirts because they don't want their body exposed.
Oh, yeah. How many women have trouble orgasming? Why? Because it's like, oh my God, I don't want him to work that hard. Oh my God, he doesn't want to be down on me that long.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's like,
I don't like the way I look.
I don't like the way I look.
Yeah, they're really in their head.
So men and women do the same thing. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
It's all the same thing. Being in your head prevents you from really living life. Being in reality. So what is it?
You can't pick both. It's just that it's a safe place. It's a false equivalency we built, and a lot of it, some of it comes with our society. Because you think back in the previous decades, they were too worried about survival. When you take, and some of that's the problem. When we're no longer worried about survival, living every day, finding food, hunting, gathering, things of that nature, we're more emotional people. And this is what they say about people who are very affluent. That's why you see a lot of. And they go, well, why'd they overdose? They had the whole world in front of them. Yeah, they had everything. They woke up every day and they knew no matter what they do, they're still going to be rich at the end of the month, end of the year, or whatever. So they were in their heads a lot. So that's why you see a lot of overdosing with celebrity actresses and actors and musicians and all that. And you see a lot of like second and third generation, very, family money, estate type kids. A lot of them overdose or get into trouble because they only have to worry about what they feel emotionally. And then we build these walls that are so big in these cities of anxiety. It's like a city of anxiety we build up about whatever it is we hold on to. And I think it's whatever it is that your hang up is, we build a city around it. We get a mayor, we got police, we got everything. We have set up a city to be anxious 24 hours a day about our issue. And we're going to build roadblocks and speedometer. We're going to have everything set up. We got street lights so that we can keep this city going. You don't want your city to close down. You kept building. It's like Sims. You've been building it for so long. Now you got to let it go. What do you mean we're going to let it go? We can't let the city. It's a city. It's just gone.
So funny, when I lived in
we're going to move away from it.
When I lived in the city of anxiety, and I remember it certain ways, and I'll use the sex way because that's the easiest way to do it because a lot of people have that issue.
Everybody's listening.
Everybody's listening right now. I remember when I can't get hard, it's because I have already predetermined before I even had sex that night that I was going to have an issue.
Yep.
Meaning I woke up that morning and I knew I was going to have sex that night with somebody, and I thought immediately to myself, what if I don't get hard, right?
And then all day.
So that subconscious thought will go through my brain the entire
and you
day.
Just put it in the universe.
Right? So I put it out in the universe. So then that night when I was fooling around with her and I was getting turned on, and then she would go down on me, I would immediately think, what if I don't get hard? What if I can't stay hard? Because it was in my thought process all day long. It's the same thought process for somebody.
And that's very open of you. I think very open of Dave to come talk about that story. It's just like, porn. It's hard to find guys to do porn because when the camera's on, hey, it's got to pop too. So, that's the same. It's similar concept. So don't think, Dave's got ED or whatever. No, it's just
not at all.
That's just called, hey, if you're thinking about
being a human. It's called the same person that goes to the gym that night and they think to themselves, God, I'm tired tonight.
Yeah.
I can't do this new exercise. What if I fail? I can't do this new exercise. Let me just do it my way. Our way, and this is something I think resistance comes down to, is that our way doesn't work anymore. If you really look at yourself as an evolved human being, if you look at yourself and get your ego out of it and you say to yourself, you know what? I am physically and emotionally where the fuck I am right now today because I was doing it my way.
Yeah.
So either I can continue to fucking trick myself and think that I can get somewhere on my own, or I can pay people to kick my ass physically and emotionally so I can go to the next level in life, because that's where you and I live. I mean, and that's something
we keep evolving, so we never level off. The next level of life should always be continued until you laying flat. Think about it. You should keep going up until you're laying flat. If you think about it, every day, every year, you should be evolving until you're no longer alive and you're laying in that box. But like you said, it just takes somebody to go, this is no longer working for me. I'm no longer happy in the city of anxiety. It's time to move. And that's what that is. And I use that paraphrase so you understand and it makes sense to you guys and clearly go, I get it. Because the more you build that city, and that's why I'm using this term, the more you want to hang on to it. Because by the time it looks like New York City, you don't want to leave. It's so much going on in here. I don't want to come out of here. There's so much going on. And go to Atlanta, it's not as well built. But you'd be happier in the green, fresh grass and the open space. That's where you need to be. You can't live in that city anymore. You built it to the max. It's overrun and it's making you angry and it's changing you as a person. You have to let those barriers go. Let the resistance band go and try to become more than what you are. Because like Dave said, your way is not working. Now it's time to amend your way and find a new way to get what you want done, because the way you were going about it isn't working.
Yeah, it's amazing. But we're know-it-alls, and we think we know it all.
Yeah,
it's
especially us guys, and that's something I'd say. Guys are more stubborn. A lot more women. That's probably
women are stubborn too.
Oh yeah, but it's
in different ways.
Yeah, but like in the fitness realm, especially, how guys are like, I need to lose 20 pounds. I got this. I'm gonna go to the gym and do some bench press.
Shit, women lose weight faster than men anytime.
Exactly. Women go, I need to lose some weight. Hey, I need you to help me. I'm trying to lose weight and I can't. They're just gonna go right there. Guys, I'm gonna go to the gym and do it. 6 months later, he's probably 20 pounds heavier than 20 pounds lighter.
Always.
And how did that happen? Oh, I'm going to the gym. I'm gonna do some bench press, because bench pressing is gonna help you lose weight, huh?
I remember this.
That's my favorite. I'm gonna do some bench. That's gonna help you curls.
I remember when I blew my back out. I stopped doing my cardio. I started just walking around the Brentwood Country Club. Okay, you know that walk in Brentwood, right? Yeah. I did 2 laps around that, right? And that's what my cardio was. And then, I realized it's like, I'm a cardio machine. I mean, I did last night. we had dinner last night. Right after dinner, I went to the gym. I still did 35 minutes of fucking elliptical. I mean, I could do an hour and a half of elliptical. I could just keep moving. It's just, it's how I'm built. But for that year and a half that I was doing that, instead of going and getting rehab, because I didn't go and get rehab, I continued to let my back spasm out, right? Instead of going and getting help, instead of hiring a trainer, instead of hiring all this stuff, I did it my way.
Yep.
So what happened? My back got worse, okay? My cardio got worse. My ass started sagging. It was actually mushy, right? I had Manulead on my butt. And I noticed that. Like, I had fucking cellulite on my butt. Yeah. Why? Because I wasn't doing shit, because I was doing it my way. Yeah. Until finally, I limped into Egoscue. Egoscue is... you met my friend Kai, right? So that's where I met him. Egoscue, where I looked at them and I said, oh my God, I've heard so many things about you. My back is still spazzing out. There's nothing I can fucking do about this. And they put me on all these exercises. And I was like, God, these exercises suck. I can't believe I got to do them every day. Yep. And I did them every fucking day, and I did not resist it. And what happened? Look at me. I'm in the best shape I've been in.
He moved
ever.
to the town of happiness.
Yeah, and I realized you just can't do it. And sometimes That's the greatest gift in the entire world when we wave the flag and say, you know what, I can't fucking do this. And partly, and the beauty is if you're in a partnership with somebody, if you're in a love relationship with somebody and your partner is not pushing you past your fears and all your bullshit, then you're in the wrong love relationship. If they're accepting all your bullshit on a daily basis, you need to look and reflect the mirror back because they're accepting their own bullshit and neither one of you are pushing each other past mediocrity. So you're in this fucking constant threat of mediocrity and anxiety together.
Yep. And it's kind of like the commercial I saw the other day. First, it was a pizza roll commercial. I was already like, what? The lady comes home after a day of work. Her husband's on the couch playing video games. She strips down to her sweatpants and a t-shirt, plops down on the couch, grabs the controller next to him, and they start eating pizza rolls playing video games. I go, yeah, and that's sad. I literally was like sickened when I saw. I'm like, this is the saddest commercial I've seen. More sad than the bombing commercials because you two people who really lost hope in life. They're not pushing each other. And that's where that comes from when you're talking about relationships that are mutual. You need to be pushing. So if your better half or your best friends or anybody in your life is not helping you go towards your goals, saying, hey, man, I thought you were going to, start going to night school. I thought you were going to, get those community classes started. I thought you were going to open your own business next year. What's going on? Like, they're just letting you be mediocre. They're not, they're right there with you. They're keeping the resistance tight on you. They need to help you get the resistance off you. Help get the rock off your friends' back. Don't let them sit there and hump around with it.
Well, that's what we do, and that's what I think. friends push each other all the time.
Honest friends, real friends do. Now, if your friends are,
how many fucking times where I'm in my head, right?
Yeah.
About a certain subject. I was in my head about business and about certain things, right? And you fucking like. One day you've listened and listened and listened, and then finally you erupted and you're like, fuck, and you just, for a whole hour of the workout, I basically got one word in.
Yeah.
For 60 fucking minutes, you're fucking lecturing me the whole time, and then finally I'm like, I get to go upstairs and you keep going. I'm like, I'm shutting the door, man.
I'm going.
And you're like, but you do it because it's like, hey man, you're my fucking friend, man.
Yeah, I got tired of it. I was like, this has got to stop. I listened to it and I said, it's round robin. And it's just getting in the way. And it was starting to affect his life, and he couldn't see it affecting it because we all have goggles. It's like you just don't see it when it's us. So you just go, hey, listen, stop. And this is why this, and this is happening because it's you. Right now it's you. I know the situation, but it's really you. And when and after an hour of somebody who you're close to just literally going on, you think about it. You might not think, this guy is just going crazy, whatever. And then maybe an hour or two later, you go, huh. A day or two later, you go, yeah, and then a day or two later, I get a text. Hey, man, I'm spending the weekend away from everybody, getting my shit together. I'll talk to you.
I thanked you every single time, man.
You're like, hey, I'm going to get my shit together. I remember that text. I'm getting my shit together this weekend. It's just me. I'll talk to you. And that's what you did. And everything literally went up from there. Literally.
Yeah, because to me, I don't want anybody in my life that doesn't push me past my bullshit.
Yeah.
So the thing is, you and I make a living off of seeing other people's bullshit.
Yeah.
So I don't want my partner, my girlfriend, I don't want my friends to fucking allow me to stay in my bullshit. I don't. And the fact of the matter is, I'm also with my own partner and my own friends. I'm the same way. It's like, I'm sorry, but I'm tired. I'm tired of hearing this. I'm tired of this hearing, I'm going to do this story, and I call that, and I've said that to friends. Hey, look, a friend of mine wouldn't work out, a good friend of mine in New York who you've never met.
Yeah.
Open heart surgery, other things. I go, every year, how am I going to get healthy? Go fucking work out. Yeah. I love you, man. It's like, but it's the same shit over and over and over again. And I love him as a fucking person. But until he does it, nothing's ever going to change, right?
Nothing.
And it's like that with anything. It's like if you truly want something, and I think that's what we look at ourselves and go, how badly do you fucking want this? Not for me, but for yourself. Because it's only going to enhance our relationship and our conversations. Because if you think about it, the old conversations get really fucking boring when you're talking about them over and over again.
Yeah, it really does. It's the same thing, and you're going, well, I'm going to do this. No, you need to go and do it. And don't tell the world about it. People were asking me, years ago, oh, how's the business I was starting my company? Arouse Health, everybody. Check out the YouTube, Instagram site. How's the business going? I say, I'm going to have some things up soon. I'll let you watch and see because no disrespect to you guys. I hate when people talk me to death about their plans. You see people out and they want, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. 6 months later, you see them again. They're doing this, they're doing that. I'm a shower. So I'll show you what I'm doing. And then you see it, you go, oh, man, that's what you've been doing. Yes, this is why I spend most of my nights working versus playing and running around the city of LA. People sometimes are amazed at my focus. I go, I didn't come to LA. I came to LA with a goal and a mindset to do something. And what I'm doing is helping everyone else in the world, not just myself. I didn't come to LA to play. That would be selfish of me. to come here and use the knowledge and things I've acquired over the years and not help other people, just use it to my advantage to get over or get with the things I want. I came here to build something, not just to be in a place and be a part of something. I wanted to leave something to the world. We always got to leave this place better than where we found it. And that's the reason why I started that. And I had to let go of the resistance of a lot of things to do that. And that required humbling myself, and all types of things. But you have to let those things go and go, okay, I'm stepping out on a new leap. When I left the East Coast, I left my East Coast lifestyle behind me, which is very lavish and luxury because I had to start from the dirt again. I had to let the resistance go. The resistance was, why leave? You've got $100,000 sports car, beautiful place to live, closet full of clothes, watches, every cologne, women, everything you want to do. It's a single man's dream. You're looking at houses, and it's a single. But the resistance was, I'm leaving all that to be something more. I had to leave the resistance of that comfort zone and go see who I could really become. And the man I am now is far more in comparison to the man I left behind. I came out of that cocoon and started flying around. And that's really what it is. Stop being a caterpillar stuck to the tree. Learn to fly.
We're going to leave it at that because that to me is the best. Stop fucking being the person you are and be the person you're meant to be.
Yep.
And I think that's the biggest thing. Stop with the stories, stop with the resistance, and really get to where you want to be because that's where true happiness comes. Otherwise, the story is almost like a pacifier. You don't need the pacifier anymore. Eddie, that was inspiring, man. This is a great Friday podcast. EddiePalmer12@gmail.com. Arouse Health on YouTube.
Instagram, whatever you want. Just Arouse Health. You can find me, whatever you need, fitness. And check out some of the examples. For those of you who want help, wherever you're at in the world, we're helping people worldwide. And you're literally going to get help. So it's not just somebody who's looking to take your money.
No. 10-minute daily reality check coming back at you Monday. Have a great weekend. And hopefully for you guys on the East Coast and in Chicago, hopefully it will stop snowing in Chicago.
Warm.
Yeah, it's fucking end of April, and
warm.
It's the middle. It's Earth Day, I think, coming up. I mean, we're already at April 22nd. I think is Earth Day, right? And it's covered in snow. And just stay warm. But listen to this podcast a couple times over again, and really get out of living in the city of anxiety.